Hi, everyone. Have you ever wondered what to say to your adult child when they're being super disrespectful to you and you really just don't even know how to respond to them? Today, I want to dive into that subject. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sally Harris, and I'm so glad you're here. I am a mom who walked a difficult road with my own daughter for 10 years, and all the while her life was spiraling out of control, mine did the same. And so now I am honored to help moms overcome their own, issues during this time with their adult children, because it's definitely nothing we plan for. You don't plan or prepare for a season such as this. So let's dive into our subject today. So when you think about having a conversation with your adult son or daughter and they become very disrespectful in the conversation, what do? Well, I want to give you these three responses, three things to think about. So the first one is I want you to consider owning it. I want you to consider apologizing to them for any part that you may have played in the scenario that you guys are arguing about. Now, this is not saying, it's not full surrender where you're like, oh my gosh, it was all my fault. Forgive me. It's all my fault. No, I am sorry if I had any part, if I played in any part of how you're feeling about this certain situation. It's not owning the entire situation, right? It's just owning your part. And so sometimes when kids can feel that, we can get on that level where we're human too, a lot of times these arguments are struggle related, unfortunately. And the parent, I believe, does have to take the high road in the sense of own our part and not be stubborn and doing all of that. Just the opposite of what we're wanting from our child, right? So owning that, consider an apology, for your part in whatever that could have been. Because remember, two people can be in the same room and have two different perceptions of what happened. And their perception is their reality and your perception is your reality. So to try to come on an even middle ground somehow, that's one thing you can consider. And the second one is to pause. So, when you're in the middle of a big fight and the adrenaline gets going and maybe you're one that starts breathing a lot, or maybe you're one that holds your breath and you're angry. Those types of situations, if you were to really take a minute and not respond while you're feeling that much adrenaline, really is what it is, that fight or flight mode, because we all get it, right? Where, God intended that system in our body in case we were, chased by a bear. Well, very rarely do most of us need it for that reason, but we enact it in our bodies all the time. And so I want you to consider that we're just pausing, where do not react to them when you are in the middle of your fight or flight mode, right? So wait until you have calmed down before you even respond. A, you're setting the example that you have control, and B, your response is going to be so much better than if you would have just reacted. And the last one is seek to understand. I talk about this all the time, and I believe that, good communication, the intention of good communication between parent and adult child is so crucial. And I fully believe that being a good listener is a huge part of that. We always seem to want to fix it. We always seem to want to have an opinion. And I encourage you to listen with both ears and be slow to worrying about how you're going to respond. Because how when you go into situations, even just a conversation with anyone, sometimes we go into it already knowing what we want to say, that we kind of tune out what the other person is even saying. And so I encourage you to not do that. I encourage you to listen, and your response may be different than you walked in the room with, right? Because after you've had a chance to really engage and listen to that other person, in this case, your child. So those are three tips, and it doesn't always cover every single conversation, but there are three good tips to keep in mind when you are talking with your adult child, especially when it gets a little heated and they start being disrespectful. This can really diffuse those conversations. So I hope that helped. If you are interested, if you don't know, I have a Facebook group, a new Facebook group called Mama Just Breathe. And I love, love, love the community. These moms are so supportive and loving and non-judgmental. And so you are welcome if you're a mom. I would encourage you to hop on over there. We'll put the link below. You can click on that. I would just ask you to answer a few questions and agree to the terms of that and just a few rules that I have for that Facebook group to keep that safe for moms. And we'd love to have you. So hopefully I'll see you in the Facebook group, and we'll see you here next time. Thanks.